Hey friends, so Taylor and Dakota, major update in their case regarding Ember and their custody situation. So I'm going to try to be as precise as possible, as unbiased as possible, and just state the facts, okay? They did not come to an agreement in mediation. Now here's the kicker, is they never had an agreement. Normally, when it comes to custody, you have a divorce decree, and then you have the whole parenting stuff in it, okay? But because of them never being married, they don't have that, and they never did it, which is, he's 2, they should have done it before I think it's been 7 or 9 months, okay? And I went back because I don't believe what either of them say. I want to see facts, and sometimes it's scripted, sometimes real things come out. And he won a 50-50, and he had no idea what he was doing, and she said that he was not permanent, etc. They came to a agreement between Dakota and Taylor. That does not make it legal. After you come to that agreement, that's similar to mediation, because you can either do mediation or you can come to an agreement, you two, okay? And they were getting along at the time, so they came up with that agreement. They were doing it they did 70-30. I feel like he was walking on eggshells, and explain that later. But either way, and Dakota, ever needed his mom. He was baby, and she had just gone to a forced therapy thing. But okay, she still went, and I'm glad. Regardless, it was never signed by a judge, so that does not make it an order, because then you cannot modify it. You cannot put in a modification for parental rights. You cannot put in a mod for PCR. Maybe they have different wording in Utah, I don't know, but you cannot do that on a no order. Same thing if mom or dad kidnaps a child or doesn't follow the rules. You can't call the cops and say, hey, they just kidnapped my child. They're not giving my kid back on my possession time. Another thing, we call it possession and access, okay? And it's not, like, I know that a lot of people get annoyed with that term, but that's what it's called. It's called possession time and access time because of supervised stuff. Like if you're supervised, then you have access to the children, but you don't have possession of them, okay? So what is the kicker is Dakota put in a petition to try and start over from scratch, and I don't blame him, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm not saying anything else. I'm zipping it today. So the way that I see it is I'm going to have to just dumb it down and look at it as if, okay, they were doing 70-30, let's pretend it was an order, and now he needs to do a modification. And that's basically, if you want layman's terms of what is going on, is Dakota is wanting to modify what they were already doing before. But it has a kicker because there was never a signed order by the judge saying that these are the things that we're doing. There are different reasons why that people are saying, but I don't have all of that information right now. I am just reporting on this little tidbit because I'm reporting on other things, and I just want you to get the basics first, because it's very interesting and so complex, but states differ and situations differ and so many different things differ, okay? So Jesse's divorce, for example, or Jesse's divorce and their custody arrangement will be a completely different thing. It's going to be completely different, and there won't be a PO. So that's another thing that's going to be taken into account, I believe. And I think that that's another probably grounds of why he's doing this. And I think that it is, my speculation is he may have something else. I don't know. That's just a speculation of mine, guys. I could be so wrong. And I will totally admit that. I just said that, out of just while I was talking. So consider it as if they had that, then he decides, no, It was never in concrete. I was confused. I was not, maybe he didn't have counsel. I had no idea what was going on. And that is, he shows that. I'm going to post proof of that. But I do not support either. Okay? I want to make that very clear. It has been hard for me to even speak on him yet. So I haven't even gotten there. But there's what is happening right now. And I hope that helps. I'm like, if you can't tell, I'm like really, really sick right now. So that is, I may redo this. But there's today's update. I know I repeated things and left things out, so I will do a part 2. It will really help me if you guys put in your actual questions down so that I can actually focus it on that. Mod for PCR means mod of parent-child relationship, meaning that you're modifying that. You could be taking away their rights completely for some reason, or you could be holding them in contempt for not paying child support. You could be doing a lot of different things. I've personally been through that. But the biggest point, the biggest point, if you take anything away from this, is that it just needs to go to trial, in my opinion. It just needs to go to trial, in my opinion. There will not be a mutual, with both of those personalities, there will not be a mutual agreement. So it needs to go to trial. Trial is so expensive. If you know nothing about trial, it's about 6 figures. If you have a good lawyer, and if you want to win, you do all of the work. You're working 24/7 as the client who's paying your attorney $500 an hour or more. So anyways, I think it needs to go to trial, and September, I believe, is the next one forever. And then they have June 1st, which is the PO, so you need to also remember that there are 2 separate things going on with them too, as well. So hopefully that helps. Have a great day. Night. Bye. Lastly, guys, this was a yoga channel, and I'm reporting on this. I'm very, very, very picky on anything taboo, or opinionated and stuff like that. So stick around for fitness, yoga, all the cool things. And then, I did not mean to do the, okay, but that, and then, also, I just want you guys to know that I think that we need to put our thinking caps on and remember that this is in the best interest of this, whatever we are forming our opinions on needs to be that this is in the best interest of the kids, okay? That's what what your opinion needs to be about, not who you like better or whatever, okay? So there you go. Love ya. Bye-bye.